You know, some people out there, when they talk, they fake the funk. You want brutally honest? Well, if you want brutally honest, look no further than CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless.
CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless.
If you want your sports talk to be brutally honest, come check out CG.
CG Ruthless.
If you're not watching CG Ruthless, I don't know what to tell you. Representing the Niner Empire.
CG Ruthless.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rams Showcase. Sheriff Joe Baggs.
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, dude? Tell everybody in the audience where they can find you at in social media platform.
Yeah, Rams Showcase, but in our kindergarten season, so we're about 5.5 years old. YouTube, if you search Rams Showcase, it'll pop up there. At Rams Showcase, just about everywhere. At Sheriff Joe Baggs, you can follow myself just about everywhere. We even got a Rams Showcase TikTok, man. We going into the new age with these young kids now. Participating with them even, man. It's good stuff.
That's good, man. Man, talking about all that, man, we've been having this roundtable on a weekly basis, but, man, this is going to be the most interesting matchup, the 49ers versus Rams. What's your thoughts of the matchup, man?
Man, I'm excited for this one. It's, coming off of these last 2 years where the Rams have not been able to beat the 49ers, even with the Nick Mullins-led team that one time, just really struggling against them. So, obviously, this year coming in, Niners sitting at the 3-5 spot and Rams sitting at 7-2. I feel good about this one, especially with some of the new additions that we've had coming in to this LA Rams team with last week and this week, getting some big names coming in. So, hopefully something awesome can happen, man, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and I guess this guy's getting the reference from you, man. Hey,
Yeah,
what was the reference you said before on that one round table?
Oh, man, draft picks are for suckers.
There you go. There you go right there. Okay, so let's discuss about those moves. The Von Miller trade, man, that caught me by surprise. What was your reaction when you saw that happen?
Man, okay, well, honestly, my reaction was a shock because I straight up went into work that morning and I was talking with one of my coworkers who's a big Broncos fan. And I just went in there and I told him, it's like, man, I don't know what it is. I have no sources. I'm not seeing this anywhere. I'm not seeing any comments about this. Like, but I just feel like Von Miller is going to be a Ram by the end of the day. That Kenny Young deal's just kind of it's speaking to me, man, in a weird way. So yeah, it's just. And then I left the office and then he sent me a text and that's how I found out. He was like, I can't believe you called that. So man, I'm excited about it because adding him in with guys like Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd, that pass rush is looking mean, man. And people can comment Von Miller's age all they want to, but let's not pretend like he's not a good football player. If those Broncos don't have that many injuries, man, he's doing exactly what he's been doing.
Yeah, he was the Super Bowl MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, even at his age, he adds good veteran experience, and a guy like he can help a guy like Leonard Floyd to be at the next level. And then you got Aaron Donald, so that's a scary combination. Then you got Jalen Ramsey, quite a few of your other core players. I mean, I feel like the Rams have the most complete overall talent. Like when you look at the defense, it's solid, it's really good. The offense is really good. But now that you guys added not that long ago, you just added OBJ. Like, what's your reaction to that one?
Man, that was a similar situation. I was actually talking to my Packers fan friend because he was messaging me today, and he's like, because he was feeling pretty good that OBJ was going to go to the Green Bay Packers, and so me and him were texting today while I was at work, and it's like, man, I was like, yeah, no, I know that's obviously an option. That's the team that's been talked about. It's like, but I mean, don't pretend like the Rams aren't in this conversation, And then, and then it was like right after that, it was about 2 hours later that we hear that it's Packers and Rams. Those are the two. And then right away after that, it was like, okay, it's Rams. He signed with the Rams. So honestly, that was one. I was pumped about it. I was actually like in not a situation where I could celebrate anything when I heard about it. So I had to be like super calm at first. I like saw the news and just like, cool. And I'm standing there at work and I'm just doing work stuff. So I couldn't be like, oh man, we just signed OBJ. But yeah, after that, I called some buddies and stuff. But I'm excited, man. I know that not everybody is, but when the coaches are pumped and the players are pumped, there's no reason for Steve over in accounting who's upset about it. I don't care about his opinion. I'm more excited if the players and coaches are pumped about it.
Well, it's all about making the moves and making the push for the Super Bowl, and that's what the Rams have been doing consistently under Sean McVay. Les Snead has been like the most aggressive GM for you guys for quite some time, and a lot to do with the fact that my team has yet to do any of those kind of moves. Like, you guys have been able to manage cap space and been able to maneuver some stuff and be able to keep a core player. Like, what is it with the Rams? Like, everybody would assume, they're going to run out of cap space at some point.
I mean, there's always ways to work around the cap, and you can always shift money to different things. You can push money back. There's always something you can do. There's obviously the chance and the likeliness that within like 5-6 years or something, that this is actually like it just crumbles and we fall apart completely because we're playing for today kind of thing. But giving up like a 2 and a 3 for Von Miller, I mean, we're trying to win today, and having a second and third round pick in April's draft, that doesn't do us any good today. That doesn't help us win games today. So I like those kind of moves, man. I like the aggression, and yeah, it might fall apart, but I think that Les Snead and Sean McVay, they've built up a squad before, really fast actually. They built up a squad before, so I'm not necessarily worried if it does crumble down. That's kind of what the NFL does. Teams go up, teams go down. So yeah, there's always a way to move around the cap, though, and we're definitely learning that with Les Snead. And honestly, we're starting to see it with some other teams too. Do a lot of those shifts, and like Tampa Bay. You look at their roster, and on paper, you would look at the players that they have, and you're like, "There's no way that there's enough salary cap for these guys." But there's always a way, man.
Yeah. Well, I think you already answered that question, Roberto. But yeah, like the fact that you guys were able to maneuver a lot of these moves, it's like it kind of gives me a question. Like, man, are they just doing a robbery? Are they robbing up some cap space from other teams or something? It's like, I mean, I don't know. Like, and then, okay, like, so getting into the next topic of it, like for the Rams in general, it's like you look at them right now compared to the Cardinals. The Cardinals are just having a good early start, but do you feel down the stretch that you guys will easily overtake that division? Because I had you guys ranked as a team to win that division this year. I
mean, I wouldn't use the term easy on that one, because they're sitting at 8-1 and they're a heck of a football team right now. They actually, winning without Kyler, that's a big deal, man. If Kyler can go down and they could still just be a proficient offense and just move the ball, I mean, that's a big sign for a lot of different things in that locker room. That means that the coaches are good. That means that the players believe in each other. They weren't like it wasn't that Kyler went down and the players were just like, oh well, crap, like this isn't going to go well. So yeah, I don't know if I would say easy, but I do like the Rams' ability to take over that position. I mean, we just added to the pass rush last week. We didn't even get to see Von Miller against the Titans this past week, so hopefully we can get to Jimmy on this one on Monday Night Football with Von. But now we add to the wide receiver room. You lose Deshaun Jackson, who's 34, so he wasn't getting used that much, and then we see some injuries with some rookies at the wide receiver spot with Jacob Harris and Tutu Atwell both going down for the season. So we definitely were looking for that spot. We tried to put a waiver claim in on Josh Reynolds, but then he got taken by the Detroit Lions, who were obviously ahead of the Rams in the waiver order. So I wouldn't say easy, but I do like the Rams' ability to take this division still.
I meant to say overtake in some way, but yeah. Okay, but like let's put in like in this perspective. You guys were actually trying to make a move to get Josh Reynolds back, but I guess the Detroit Lions really needed some wide receiver help, so I guess that made a lot of sense. And then let's see, glad we got Odell, but man, where does he play? Van, us too. Like Van is another good receiver that you guys got. You're developing him into a good quality number 3 receiver. Like, what's your thoughts of his progression from year 2? Because I know as a rookie he kind of had like barely any production, but this year he's looking like a really good number 3 receiver.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that it was necessarily just the lack of production, just lack of use. I mean, we just weren't really letting him play that much. But historically speaking, under McVay, rookies don't get a lot of playing time. Sometimes we'll see it. There are exceptions to that, such as Jordan Fuller last year ended up starting at safety pretty early in the season. And he was a rookie last year. So we do see it. And Ernest Jones now is a starter for the Rams this year. He's a rookie coming in. So, it was just one of those where he McVay was upping him all year, and we were kind of like, well, if you're upping him so much, like if you're talking about how awesome he is, how about we see him on Sundays, man? And so this year he's doing it, and he's doing an awesome job. And basically what we've already heard is the Rams do like to run that 3 wide receiver set, and for the most part this season it has been Woods, Kupp, and Jefferson. But basically what we're already hearing now is that we have 4 wide receivers that we can rotate into those 3 slots, which will include now Odell Beckham Jr. being one of those guys. So I did see that comment pop in that, we may not see these guys before the bye week. I do think we see Vaughn. I think that there is a chance that we don't see Odell in this game, but Vaughn, I do anticipate playing against the 49ers.
Well, yeah, Vaughn's going to be likely to play because he was getting some more practice and all the other stuff. But then when you look at Odell, he just barely got here. Usually it takes him like up to a week up to speed to learn the playbook quickly, because I guess
we get the Monday game, so we do get like 1 extra day. But I mean, that's a tight turnaround, and we also don't need Odell. It's not like we're sitting here. It's like if we only had a wide receiver, we'd be able to win a football game, So it's not like we live or die by Odell. So if he misses a game, we go into our bye week, and he comes to play actually against the Green Bay Packers in his first game as a Ram, then I think that'd be a good play for the Rams.
Yeah, it would. I guess one of your other fellow Rams is saying, if you ask me, we can't get rid of Kupp or Van or Woods, would be making. I think you guys are like, let me ask you this question. Do you think Odell's a long-term answer, or is just a rental?
Yeah, it does feel very much kind of like we're leasing Odell a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me to see Odell play the rest of this season as a Ram and then move on somewhere else. That wouldn't shock me at all. I know that he was kind of saying that he wanted to be somewhere for a little bit. He wanted to find a team that he could be with for a little bit, and I think that played a big role in him not picking the Packers, considering there's so many question marks about Devontae Adams as well as Aaron Rodgers and their future with that team. So I think that he knows that it's a little bit more stable here right now. Stafford is 33, so it's not like he's going to play forever, but there is some stability there. But yeah, I mean, it definitely would make sense that if the Rams aren't able to bring him back, maybe he wants just a massive payday. I mean, that comment there said that Woods could be some good, like trade capital. I don't necessarily agree, but I also don't disagree. I don't know. It's kind of I'm torn on Robert Woods right now because he's such a talented player and he's been doing such a good job for the Rams. It's just that Stafford prefers Kupp. So, it's one of those weird situations where if we have to move on from Woods because it's just in his best interest to maybe go somewhere else and be a true number 1 again, like he was for the Rams when we had Jared Goff, then hey, I support him there, but I don't want to see Woods leave. I think Woods is an extremely talented receiver. And honestly, this wide receiver group is kind of obnoxious right now. It's awesome.
Yeah. And then, okay, since we're talking like the contract situations of the players you acquire, what's Von Miller's remaining contract? Do you even have him for the entire season, or is he a free agent after this year?
He is a free agent after this season, but his cap hit is 9.7, but the Broncos are covering 9 of that. So it's under $1 million that the Rams are paying for Von Miller this year. So we basically, the Broncos basically traded $9 million away for 2 picks. That's really, they paid $9 million to the Rams basically to get 2 draft picks, which is something that they're trying to package together per Dan Patrick. That's actually something that they're trying to do, is acquire draft picks so that they can try to make a push for Aaron Rodgers, but it's kind of irrelevant to the Rams. But we get Von Miller super cheap. I actually haven't seen the official numbers on Odell's contract. I'm not even sure if they're out. I just saw that that's a 1-year deal. So yeah, it's Von super cheap. And the conversation is that the Rams are going to try to extend him and not let him even hit free agency, and that hopefully he'll be a Ram for the next couple of years.
Yeah, that would make sense. So you can keep your defense the same way. But Von Miller is just a game changer, and it changes a lot of what people think of your defense. Like the fact that you guys were able to develop somebody like Leonard Floyd, who came from Chicago, that was he was solid, but he wasn't putting up the double-digit type sack numbers until he went to the Rams. But when you look at your defense, you look at Aaron Donald, he's been able to dominate this position, and he's been a 2 or 3-time defensive player of the year, and he's been at the highest level. It's hard to even I can never imagine if the Rams would would trade him for this type of value. But at this point of his age, would you guys even think of considering trading him just to clear up the cap space, or you think it's kind of like out of the picture?
You're talking about Donald?
Yeah. Remember you were talking about it the other time?
I think I'm like there would probably be tears if the Rams traded Aaron Donald, man. I don't know if I could handle that. Aaron Donald is such an important piece of this team. I don't even think it would be entertained. Like I think that if somebody called, like actually that did happen. Who was the team? They called the Rams and tried. Oh, it was the Lions in the Stafford trade. They were like, well, give us Aaron Donald, and we basically just laughed at it. Like, okay, yeah, but what's a real offer? Like, it's like, yeah, come on now. But yeah, no, I don't even think it would be entertained. I think Snead would laugh them off the phone.
Yeah, I think it has to have a better offer, but I still think he'd still be great on your defense. So, like, okay, so when you look at the most concerning factor, what's been the most concerning for your team when it comes to, like, your offense? I've seen glaring parts. I've been looking at it, I'm, like, thinking it's got to be the interior line. Agree or disagree on that part?
I do agree, but only to an extent, because we've seen this line play really well. And I think that people are looking at that Titans game as the definition of who the Rams are. And I just don't think that that's accurate. Like people see that what that Titans defensive line did to the Rams offensive line. And I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, the Titans they have a good team. Like they have an awesome defense. They're physical. They're really strong up front. Jeffrey Simmons is no joke. So, I mean, to judge him just off that one, I disagree with. But, it's because Stafford got sacked 5 times. But before that, coming into the game, he'd only been sacked 3 times at home. So, and there's just – I just don't think you can put too much on that. If I had to give a weakness to this Rams offense, what I would do is I would call it play calling, because – we saw what we were doing with Jared Goff, who had trouble hitting guys, was we would roll him out of the pocket, we'd move the pocket, we would do all this misdirection, and that led to guys being open, which made life a lot easier for Jared Goff. And then I wanted to see that same exact offense with Matthew Stafford, but we see a lot more just straight dropbacks with Matthew Stafford. So, and then also if you look at the play calling of the run game, I mean, Darrell Henderson is 7th in the NFL right now in rushing yards, but it just doesn't feel like that. I mean, because this last game he got 11 carries. Yeah, he averaged 5 yards a carry, but only 11 carries. Like he just needs to get more of that. So I think we want to see more balance, but with the addition of OBJ, I don't think we actually do see more balance there. So,
yeah, because I guess Henderson gets like really good amount of big plays, but I guess he's been limited in running the ball because you've been using Sony Michel and quite a few other backs, right?
Yeah. I mean, we do a decent rotation, but there's still just not the carries there. I mean, when you're running the ball 15, 16 times a game total, it's hard for anybody to really get it going,
Yeah, it does, especially the way we're going through. Like, we got this guy in the 6th round, and he looks like a bona fide stud, and we drafted this other guy in the 3rd round, and he just hasn't quite been good with the players. I guess I don't know why the coaches even don't feel that high about him. So it's like, wow, like you draft this guy, you trade up to the Rams spot just to get a running back from Ohio State, and he hasn't really end up being exactly what we hoped for. But the guy we waited into the 6th round, he's turning out to be a really good running back. But when I look into the Rams stats wise, I think you guys are really solid against the run. Do you guys think you have some challenging parts when you go against our running back a little bit? You think that Elijah Mitchell gives you guys a unique challenge or no?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Everybody does do different, like every running back brings a different element to the game. And Elijah Mitchell, he is a good player. I mean, but every team has like at least 2 running backs that are like starting caliber. So there's running backs everywhere. That's why I said on like the roundtable and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, the Cam Akers injury sucks and we don't want to see that because he's a really good player, but there's a bunch of really good players, and Darrell Henderson's a really good player. We also got Sony Michel coming in. He's a good player, so they're kind of all over the place. But for Mitchell, I mean, he does present those challenges. He's a good back, man, and it's a division game, and Shanahan knows this team. He knows how to – he's actually one of the guys that is good at using Aaron Donald's aggression against him, doing those misdirections, or you get those plays where you read the block and whatever direction Aaron Donald goes, you go the other way. You know what I mean? So it's it's just one of those. And I think that he could have a decent game, but this Rams defense with the addition of Von Miller, we just don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet, especially against the run.
Yeah, that's going to be the only challenging part. And then when you look at the matchup with your cornerback, like Jalen Ramsey, is it going to be against Debo or Ayuk? Which one? It depends.
Yeah, we see him bouncing all over the place, so I'm not sure if that's really even something that will. I don't know if it'll be like Jalen versus Debo kind of thing. Like I think it'll be just kind of back and forth. But now that Darius Williams is back, and I think that Robert Rochelle is progressing a little slower than I would have liked to have seen, but he's doing a good job. But Dante Dion's playing some really good ball, and I would like to see Dante Dion on Ayuk. Actually, I think that would be just a fun matchup. As a fan of the game of football, I think that's a matchup that I would enjoy watching, even if Ayuk gets him on a couple.
I like to see Jalen Ramsey versus Debo just to see who's actually going to back it up. I want to see how Debo does against Jalen for that matchup in general. Yeah, is it okay? This guy mistaked you as Jake.
Yep, not Jake.
Not Jake, man.
Good though.
Okay, is Trey or Jimmy starting? It's Jimmy, of course. Oh, if the Rams don't win the Super Bowl, McVay should tire given that the AFC this year. I think it's a lot to do with all the teams in general. Like Sean McVay just puts in the mortgage and it keeps on going. Like that's something that Shanahan doesn't do. And I don't like the way the direction's going for us, but the way the Rams are doing it, hey, it's fine. If you got like 3 or 4 good years in you and you want to if you can get a Super Bowl win, then who cares?
Yeah,
it's all about
nobody's talking trash about the Denver Broncos for selling out, going and getting Peyton and winning a ring. And then
that's what I'm saying.
After that. Nobody bashes them for going and getting a ring, selling out, and then falling down afterwards. It's fine.
That's the point. See, that's the point of what I'm trying to tell the fan base. Like, look at the way we're building. It's kind of been crumbling. The way we've been building our team. They say the brick by brick, but look what it's doing. It's not working. You got to start getting aggressive. Forget about if you feel like this person's hurting us in cap space, then cut your losses and see you can cut your losses, move on, and get some players that fit your team and figure out ways to improve your cap space. And then you should be very aggressive and competitive. But instead, we're just sitting down watching teams like you guys making some moves. And while we're just not doing squat, and that's what's kind of frustrating as a fan. But when you see your team make all those insane moves, it catches you guys by excitement,
Yeah, absolutely. And it could be the situation where in a couple of years you guys are sitting awesome and looking like you're ready for a good playoff run, and the Rams are sitting there with maybe 1 or 2 wins at this point of the season. Like that's definitely a possibility. But what I tell people all the time is, this is fun right now. It is fun to be a Rams fan today. Like it's good stuff. It's exciting. We got a bunch of awesome things going on all the time. Seems like there's additions all the time, but I tell people all the time, winning is a lot more fun, but it's not like losing is going to make me not a Rams fan. You know what I mean? Like I sat through those years, the dark era, as I call them in St. Louis, of covering this team when there was 1 win. You know what I mean? So it's a lot more fun now, but losing isn't going to make me just bail on my squad or anything. So it's fine. I mean, if we sell out, go win some games, and then maybe we'll fall down, but it's all good. It's literal entertainment, and I'm being entertained for sure.
Yeah, I feel the pain too, because most true fans, they get tired of this losing mentality, but I've been through the worst and we're still going through the worst, and I'm still holding up optimistic. But some of the people that look at me and think of the way I act, it's nothing personal with me being negativity about the team. But when I keep telling them, man, what's with these false hopes, man? I'm trying to give you the truth of what I think of this team, and you don't want to hear the truth, then oh well. I'm still rocking this team, whether they like it or not, but I'm still going to be really straightforward about my team, whether I bash them or whether I praise them. It's just I got different perspective of what I feel. In this season, in general, the way the Niners are playing, they're just playing below expectation. Like the fact that we should have been competing with you guys. We should have been competing with teams like Arizona and the rest of the guys. And we have not lived up to that standard. And Shanahan hasn't done much since 2019 to improve. So it's like, what have you done lately, Shanahan? And enough of these Jimmy G excuses. This guy's been given chances after chances, even with injuries. It's at a point where we're 3-5. We have nothing else to play for. We can pretty much gain a lot with Trey Lance. You bench Jimmy G, you got to move on with this guy. This guy isn't doing nothing. He's holding this offense back. I know a lot of this receiver excuses, not catching the ball. I get the offensive line part, but what are you getting out of this kid? You're not getting nothing with Jimmy G. He's been around too long. Trey Lance, to me, needs to get the reps. And if that's not the case, then design plays that fit Trey Lance. Because if you don't design the plays that fit him, then what are you doing? At least build his strength and then work with him and then build on to next season with him and give him some workout during the offseason, get him some good QB coaches to train him and then elevate himself like a Josh Allen. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and from the Rams fan perspective, like I put out a whole video on this topic of the 49ers quarterback situation. Because I made a bunch of comments this week in my episode because we got the Rams and Niners week. It's 49ers week for the Rams. It's a big time, but I kind of mentioned that there's no reason. You already know that Trey Lance is your future, so there's only 3 options that actually exist with what's going on and why Jimmy G is still starting. Either it's option A, which is Kyle Shanahan is actually that stupid where he doesn't know that, this is going to end after this season, that Jimmy's gone after this year, and then it's Trey Lance's time. So it's either Shanahan is stupid, option B, Trey Lance is not impressing in practice at all, and he looks really bad, so the coaches don't want to put him out there and make themselves look bad because he's just not a good quarterback, and everybody's going to know that they made the wrong pick. Or option 3, that Shanahan knows that he's getting onto the hot seat, and it's harder to fire him if Jimmy G plays this whole season, and then you go into the offseason and he can say to the front office, you guys are going to fire me, and I didn't even get a chance to use my quarterback that I drafted? Like, you guys got to give me a chance to use my guy, right? So I think it's one of those 3 options. Either Shanahan's dumb, Trey Lance sucks, or Shanahan's trying to buy another year. I think that's it.
Well, Shanahan's got a guaranteed contract, so he's got a big contract. His job.
Come on, you know that.
Yeah, I know that part, but he feels like he's in job security, so he feels like his job is safe. So it's like
I do think he's back next year, but yeah. I don't think he should be. I don't think he's doing a good job.
He isn't. He isn't really doing much. So it's like he needs to start pulling the plug off of Jimmy and play Trey Lance, because at this point, I'd rather have the young kid get some experience, whether it's good or bad. At least you build onto this kid. I know most rookie quarterbacks don't come off the gate and just put up crazy. No, they're going to go through the growing pains. They're going to probably throw some picks or get sacked. They're probably going to go through these situations. But the following year, you add them some pieces, and then you see the improvement, just like a Joe Burrow's doing, just like you got Baker Mayfield, who was progressing and regressing, and then you got a lot of these other players like Kyler Murray. He's gotten better. Josh Allen's gotten better. So that's what you expect from these.
How to make those mistakes?
Exactly. They got to build.
Especially if you guys lose this game to the LA Rams, you guys are 0-4 in the division, 3-6 on the season. There is no reason to not just let him get his 500 reps or whatever it's going to be for the rest of the season. No reason not to let Trey Lance just take over. At that point, I realize that the NFC playoff race looks kind of snug there at the bottom of the wild card, where Atlanta's sitting in it at 4-4 right now, and you guys are right there on the edge. But if you guys are 0-4 in the division, 3-6 on the season, there is no reason to keep playing Jimmy. None.
Yeah, I would agree on that extent. But here's one way that I can really make a good argument. Like, let's say he doesn't beat Jacksonville. Then that's when we need to pull the plug and get him out. I can understand losing our division 4 games, but if you lose to Jacksonville, I'm sorry, Jimmy, you're done. We cannot lose to that team.
Rams played Jags here a little bit, and that's like one of the games that unnecessarily scares me, because the Rams are 7-2 right now, and the 2 losses are against the 1 seed in the NFC, the 1 seed in the AFC. So it's not like it's bad losses or anything like that. It's just that one just makes me nervous. I think it's just last year that Jets game is really it's sticking in my brain a little bit.
I mean, how did you guys play a lot closer to the Lions, man? I was like, wow.
Hey, Lions came to play, man, and I think we overlooked them a little bit.
I hope you guys don't overlook us.
I don't think we will. And I know some people have said the words trap game in this one. I just don't think that falls under that definition because Rams and Niners, that's a series, man. I mean, this is our 144th time playing. I don't think that this is a situation where the Rams will overlook anybody, even with your guys' record being at 3-5. Because especially you look at that. I mean, you guys beat us 4 straight times. I don't think McVay is just going to be like, oh, well, we got the Packers in a couple of weeks because we got a bye week after this, and then we go to Green Bay. I don't think that we're going to be looking that far ahead. I think that would be insane. So, no, I think that the Rams will be ready for this one. Especially we just got embarrassed in prime time against the Titans. They beat us up, man. They just out-physicaled us, and I don't think that that'll happen 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I would agree on that part. But the last time the Niners actually won a Levi Stadium home game, who was that against?
It was the Rams. Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. So I guess we're 0-9 since leaving Levi, so that hasn't been a great taste in our mouth. So it's like when we play on the road, we look like a far different team, but at home, we're just playing like we don't even belong here. So it's like, man.
Yeah, I mean, both of our losses were at home this year, so I kind of feel you. Not to the total extent, but I do sympathize a little bit. We're losing 2 at SoFi this year. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's the most concerning factor. So even in this matchup on Monday night, I feel like we have nothing else to gain. We got nothing else to lose at this point because we're far behind. We're half a game behind third place against Seattle, who we should have beaten in the first place, but I don't know why they're still around. So you figure the Rams and Cardinals are going to fight in for that division. It's going to be a dogfight. I know the first time around when they played you guys, it's going to be a far different game, I'm assuming. But the matchup with the Niners and Rams, it wouldn't surprise me if we somehow managed to beat you guys for some reason. But if it comes the other way around, like if it comes to a dominant fashion or a close game, then it's a really good divisional game. But it's always one of those tricky parts about division games. Like those division games are like close, or it depends on what kind of performance you get out of them.
Yeah, division games, especially NFC West versus NFC West, we usually see some pretty good games, and we'll also see a lot of upsets in this and those series. Like even when the Rams were not a very good team. I mean, take for example the season that the 49ers played the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Did not beat the Rams that year. It was a tie and then a loss to the Rams, but did not beat the Rams that year. And the Rams were not a playoff team. You know what I mean? So it goes all over the place. We used to even win in Seattle every couple of seasons or something like that, even when we were really bad. So and they were a good team. So yeah, it did. In this division, there is no guarantee. So like just because the Rams are on paper a better team right now than the 49ers, that doesn't really mean anything. I mean, that's not where the game's played, We got to get between the lines.
Well, yeah, just like the fact you guys lost to the Jets last year, that was a surprise. And if the way you guys are playing, I don't know, it's anybody's guess. But what if this year's trap game even thought we are playing like trash this year? I feel like it, I don't look at it as a trap game like the way you said it. Like it's a division game. Everybody, we know each other. So it's like
all under the definition of a trap game. Like a trap game is when you have like an awesome game next week that everybody's kind of looking at, and then this game is just against a crap team or whatever. It's a division game. We go into our bye week after this. So there's no reason for the Rams to be overlooking this game. Like this is the game. And like I said before, like we just got beat on Sunday Night Football, and now we got another primetime one. So America's going to be watching the Rams again. You need to show up.
Yeah, and the fact that America's going to watch a game at Santa Clara, well, who wants to watch this performance, I don't know. It's just a fan in general speaking truth. Like, who wants to put a game on primetime at Levi's when this team hasn't really performed up to the potential?
I mean, I will say, though, the Field of Jeans, man, looks real nice at night. I like that atmosphere at night up there. It's kind of cool. I've never been there. I've never been to the Field of Jeans, but I would like to. But I would like to make it a primetime game. Pat, by the way, OBJ is not wide receiver one.
Yeah. Oh, the atmosphere of going to those kind of games. Okay, I've been to at least 2 of the night games. Like the Thursday night game when the Niners played the Rams at Levi's, it had a good atmosphere. But then the other Thursday night game where we played against the Raiders, that night atmosphere was insane. It was like crazy. But yeah, you'll probably get a good experience out there. It's pretty dope, but it's not.
I want to check it out, man. I'll be at SoFi again here in a couple weeks. In December, I'll be out at SoFi. But I would like to get. I want to see every NFL stadium. That's just who I am as like a football fan. I want to go to them all, but Levi's at night is where I think I'd want to do that one.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to SoFi for just a matchup game with the Niners and the Rams or the Chargers. Yeah. The only one that seems kind of tricky to me is Las Vegas. I don't even know if I want to set foot over there.
Yeah, man, that's a cool stadium. I can't wait. But we play them so like
next year.
Like, yeah, but I think that we play them at SoFi, so it would be another 4 years after that we'd even be in Vegas. So, that's what I hate about it, is it takes forever to actually get into the AFC stadiums,
Yeah, for some, yeah, because it takes every next other
8 years.
It takes 8 years total. Like you switch up every 4 years, you go to the next stadium. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those once in a while games. So it's like the one stadium I went to was the Arizona Cardinals stadium, just for visiting that one time. But it's not too bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Denver's cool, man, but SoFi that place is unbelievable, man.
Well, I gotta check it out. Just it's on my list, so I'll probably need to go check out SoFi when I go out of town. I definitely want to go to these away games and check out some nice stadiums. I've heard Cowboy Stadium's another good stadium to go to, and then Seattle's got an okay atmosphere, but I'm definitely considering all those bucket lists to go to.
I want to go party with those Bills fans, bro.
Oh, wrestling table? Oh, I want to break some tables over there down Buffalo.
Man, because I'm not big enough for any of that. I will snap myself in half below one of them tables, dude. But no, I want to go party with them, man. Like I want to shop some beers with some Bills fans, dude. Like,
no, I want to do some frog splash on the tables and crush them. I've done wrestling stunts before, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm not about that life.
I like that hardcore style wrestling, but it's another topic for another day. But definitely want to check out like another stadium. Like definitely like to check out MetLife and quite a few other ones like down the East Coast.
I want to see them all.
I heard New Orleans has got the party one, man. The New Orleans what is the Superdome, whatever they got. I heard that one's pretty dope.
I'll party there. I would, yeah. So I want to party at all of them. I'm going to shotgun a beer in front of every NFL stadium.
I've heard Cincinnati's like a decent stadium, I heard, and then the Browns is all right.
The Browns, I think that would be a fun one, but yeah, man. For this one though, because Levi's, it is ultimately, and this is not intended to be like a personal attack on anybody, and I realize that some people watching this will be like, hey, he's hurting my feelings, but it's overall a kind of like dull stadium. It's a little bit boring. There's nothing too like flashy or anything about it. But that's almost what I like about it. You know what I mean? Like that, it's almost like the basicness of it. Like, it's not like Lambeau Field is some, architectural marvel of a stadium, you know what I mean? But it's like so historical and stuff like that. So, yeah, Martin, this game is at Levi's Stadium. So, yeah, that's going to be – we'll get them, of course, in SoFi again later on this year. And we can definitely do another one of these for that game, depending on, where that season's looking in that playoff race and all that for sure. But –
yeah, we can either do it on your channel or mine. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, just as long as we get to talk ball, man. I like talking Rams.
Yeah, definitely. So who would need to be the X factor for your Rams player to close this game out against us?
You know what? I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. We're going against the fourth ranked pass defense in the 49ers. So I think it's going to be a big one on him. And he's got obviously a lot of weapons to go to now, especially we just added one more. So I think a lot of pressure is going to be on him, especially after those two back-to-back ridiculous plays on Sunday Night Football against the Titans. That was so bad, man. Like seeing that spin around interception, it was like, oh, it's going to be one of those days. All right. And then he comes out and throws a pick six and is like, oh, okay. So
yeah.
As long as he's not doing anything like that, I feel good about it. But I think that Stafford, if he's on, we win. If he's having one of those days, it's going to be real rough.
Yeah. So when I look at this matchup on Monday night, I see the Rams more pissed off because they lost to Tennessee, a team that didn't even have Derrick Henry. So it's like you wake up the next morning and your opponent's going to be the 49ers. And if you watch Tom Grossi's segments, you guys are going to take the frustration on us, just like that Rams fan just said.
I'll say this too, that I think that Darrell Henderson is a big X factor in this one as well. Not only because of like the Rams and their offense and how they've been running things, and that he really does kind of determine how successful the pass game will end up being. But also with what James Conner did to you guys last week, is that just an exposed weakness, or was that an anomaly? I'm not sure. I'm really curious to see if Hendo can replicate any of that stuff,
Oh, it's definitely exposed because Javon Kinlaw is out for the year. He was a very solid run stopper, not quite the flashy name. But, I feel like if you guys run the ball exactly the way how Arizona did it, I feel like that's the problem right there. We don't have the kind of run stop ability to stop opposing running backs. That's why we're ranked 26 against the run, and it's not looking good. So it's that's probably what's been killed in our defense is the fact we haven't been able to stop drives. And sometimes it goes from third and short in some ways, and they're able to convert it or move the chains more, or it can be third and long, and somehow they're able to run the ball smart and able to expose that weak spot. They're able to get those big chunk of yards out of it,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's could you imagine the week that we sign OBJ if we run the football 35 times?
Man, that would just be like an Al Bundy moment, man. Just oh, God.
Yeah. You would be so mad. You'd be like, I showed up and go run heavy. What are you doing?
I think that's your best bet is to run the ball, man. Try to run the ball down our.
So they're having a hard time against the run and fourth against the pass. And maybe that's because they're having a hard time against the run. Maybe teams aren't just the reps aren't there, but yeah, we'll see what Hendo can do in this one, man.
Yeah, and then throw in some more deep passes. That's where you get the free yardage at, man. Those secondaries have been getting penalties after penalties, especially Josh Norman, man. Take those free shots on them, and you're going to get maybe some big chunk of first downs out of those penalties.
I want to mention Jimmy Ward's comments, by the way. I don't even know really what to say about it, but I don't even know if you can agree with this. I know that Rams fans will, but Jimmy Ward's blatantly making himself look dumb, right?
Oh, you know what? For once, I will agree on one thing. He's very overrated. He doesn't produce. This guy's he's never been a guy to stay healthy in the beginning. This guy's made of glass. He's trash. I don't know why he's talking out of his mouth. And the fact that we've been keeping this guy for so long, you don't even have that many interceptions. You don't make game-changing plays. All you are is a system-fit safety who was a first-round bust, in my opinion, and you're a waste of talent, bro. Why are you talking out of your mouth if you can't back it up, dude?
I was so surprised to see Jimmy Ward, of all people on that 49ers team, because there are some very talented players out there. But of all people, that Jimmy Ward was the one coming out talking about Stafford. Okay, first of all, Stafford's first in the NFL in passing yards right now. How about, are you going to do something before you talk trash about who's leading the NFL right now, man? Come on now. Just make it look up.
Yeah, and the big mistake by Jimmy Ward is overlooking Stafford, and that's going to make us pay for it. Yeah, so I don't know. I have to check out more of the conference. I haven't been watching a lot of it because anytime I watch Shanahan's conference, I'm not even going to watch it because I don't want to hear what he's got to say. He makes up dumb excuses. And then the other players, when I watch other players, they're making excuses and excuses. I'm only interested in the players who actually want to be here. So it's why do I want to listen to what Jimmy Ward's got to say? This guy's been full of crap. He doesn't back it up. He's only been as good because of the fact that they've been able to give him a system that fits his skill set. But other than that, he hasn't been quite the guy we expected him to be. So you got 2 career interceptions, 1 pick six, couple sacks, and you've been around this team since 2014, bro. You, to me, are the most overrated player we've ever drafted. So I don't want to hear a word out of that guy.
Yeah, he probably won't be around that much longer.
I hope he's gone. I would celebrate and throw in champagne because this guy's trash.
Yeah.
I'm not a bit. And sorry that Jimmy Ward. I'm sorry if you see this out of my pun intended, but I'm speaking the truth. I am speaking the truth, dude. I know you've been trying to be nice to me. But I'm not going to take your little kindness. And you might seem like a nice guy, but as a player, you suck.
I hope he does see this. I hope he knows that his comments made Rams fans laugh and that 49ers fans heard his comments. And apparently, from who I've spoken with so far, 49ers fans heard his comments and were like, oh, dude. They got embarrassed by it, and we're laughing at him. So I hope he does see it.
Yeah, and Hello, Corey, and I guess he says what's up to you, but let's get to the final prediction, and then we can end the stream from here when you want, man.
Cool. Yeah, my prediction in this one, man, I think that I do feel good about the Rams in this one for a couple of reasons. And, we kind of talked about it on the NFC West Roundtable. If you guys didn't check that out, it was on the AZ Sports Fan channel this week. So next week it should be back on RamsShowcase, I believe. We will confirm that and post in community boards and stuff. But yeah, it was good. It was a good one for sure. Again, I feel like every single one gets better, but I kind of mentioned it in there that I think a big part of the 4-game slide, as I will call it, from the Rams' perspective against the 49ers, is Robert Saleh had a very good plan to stop Jared Goff. But now both of those parties are gone, and now it's going to be Matthew Stafford going against that 49ers defense that definitely just looks a little bit more predictable this year. So I think that the Rams will have a lot better showing than we're used to against the 49ers these last couple of years. But I think that Stafford is going to be a big difference. And if Von Miller can play, I'm really excited to see how the energy of the defense comes out, because Aaron Donald hasn't stopped smiling. You should have heard when Leonard Floyd found out that the Rams got Von Miller, he was running up and down the hallways apparently in the facilities. So, these players are pumped, and if he's out there on the field, man, I think the energy is going to be very, very strong, and I feel good about it. So as far as the score prediction, I think that Shanahan is an absolute moron for continuing to start Jimmy, and I think that the Rams will expose that a little bit. I think that this is Jimmy's last start. I do think it goes to Trey Lance time after this one, but I'm going to say I think the Rams can put up some points. I think I'll go 34. I'll go 34-24 because this Rams defense definitely gives up yards, and with the roster that the 49ers have with some of their wide receivers, with Mitchell at running back, and of course George Kittle. I mean, I can't believe we made this entire episode without saying Kittle's name, but the red zone, if they can get down there, I think that they can punch it in a couple times. So I'll go 34-24.
Yeah, the fact that George Kittle's another weapon that we have in our offense, he makes it very viable as a run blocker and as a pass blocker too. So it's like you having him onto your offense is a very good reason why this offense moves. When he's out, the offense is just not the same. So yeah, that's the intriguing matchup: is who's going to cover George Kittle? That's the one main question.
You know what? Don't be surprised if we see Jalen Ramsey on Kittle at least a couple times.
Oh, I want to see that matchup. I want to see both of them bring that smack talk a little bit, bring that entertainment.
And Jalen's bringing it.
He's going to bring it. I want to see. I mean, I know Kittle's going to bring it, but man, that would be intriguing. So, okay, as far as a prediction for the game in general, don't take it the hard way, Niners fans, but the way we're playing and the way it's going, we haven't won a home game since the COVID, and the last time we won was against the Rams, and history doesn't always repeat itself from previous years. And I think the fact that the Rams loss against Tennessee was a wake-up call, and I think they're more pissed off. And let's put it this way. Jimmy Ward's mouth is pretty much going to motivate the Rams. So I got this score prediction going as 31-17. I got the Rams dominating the 49ers, and I'm just speaking truth. And I know if somehow we play a good game or win, then okay, I love to admit when I'm wrong, but I got to go with realistically. We're just not good enough.
I mean, that makes sense, man. That does make sense. I can't believe that they're still starting Jimmy, man. I mean, we talked about it on the roundtable. My prediction was like week 4.
I would have thought so.
We're going into week 10, and everybody's like, "Is it gonna happen? Like, is it?"
Yeah, that's the one interesting part, but we'll find out hopefully down the stretch. But I got a feeling that if it doesn't happen at this game, then don't be surprised after the Jacksonville game, because that's where maybe it might determine whether it's going to be him or not.
Next.
Yeah, we got you guys, then we got Jacksonville.
That's a perfect game for Lance to get his first start.
Jacksonville, yes.
Perfect game.
I hope they think about that part, because if you put them against Jacksonville, who they're going to do? So, yeah. So I definitely got you guys winning, and maybe that might – you know what? This might sound kind of weird, but I might see you guys injure Jimmy G. maybe it's one of your defenders taking them out of the game, and then Trey Lance comes in and plays a little bit, spiring a little, but then you guys still win.
I mean, there's some big scary dudes coming after him in this one, and they're all pumped right now. So
Yeah, definitely. But I'll see you on Tuesday, bro. And the next following matchup when we play against each other, I'll definitely we can definitely schedule on your stream or mine. Doesn't matter.
for sure, man. And we're looking forward to this game Monday Night Football, ESPN. I don't know if there's a Manning cast, but I'll be on the normal one. I don't like the gimmicky stuff. It's cool. I like the Manning cast. It's like that. Not for me. But yeah, man, it should be a good one. Good luck to your boys, but not too much good luck. Yeah.
Don't rub it in, bro. But yeah, good luck for you guys the rest of the way. But yeah, appreciate it. But for anybody else who haven't subscribed to Sheriff Joe Bag, it's Rams Showcase. It's under my description of the stream. So definitely go check out his channel. And if you are a Rams fan in general, or just an NFC West fan or NFL fan in general, go check out Rams Showcase. He has those, what is it called? Those fan queso questions, which we all know it's Mexican cheese.
Pesos. Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's the good stuff. All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
Cool. Thanks for having me, dude.
No problem, bro. Anytime.
Go Rams.
As always, go Niners. All right, bro. Catch you later, bro.
Later, man.